Hello students, this is Mrs. Sonal Patil. In our previous class, we have completed up till phylum Hemichordata. Today, we will study phylum Chordata. Animals belonging to phylum Chordata are fundamentally characterized by the presence of notochord and a dorsal hollow nerve cord and paired pharyngeal gill slits. Notochord, it is a rod-like supporting structure present in the embryonic stage which develops into vertebral column or backbone. Nerve cord, it is a tubular and hollow structure lying above the notochord and extending from the anterior to the posterior end of the body. The anterior part develops into brain and the posterior part develops into spinal cord. Pharyngeal gill slits, there are paired gill slits in the pharyngeal region present in the embryonic stage. So these are the important characters of chordates: presence of a dorsal hollow nerve cord, notochord and the pharyngeal gill slits. These are bilaterally symmetrical, triploblastic, coelomate with organ system level of organization. They possess a post-anal tail. Phylum Chordata is divided into three subphyla: Urochordata, Cephalochordata and Vertibrata. So they are further classified into three subphyla: Cephalochordata are often referred to as protochordates and are exclusively marine. In Urochordata, notochord is present only in larval tail, while in Cephalochordata it extends from head to tail region and is persistent throughout their life. Examples for Urochordata are Acidia, Salfa, Doliolum. Cephalochordata example is Branchiostoma. Coming to subphylum Vertibrata, members of subphylum Vertibrata possess notochord during the embryonic period. The notochord is replaced by cartilaginous or bony vertebral column in the adult. Thus, all vertebrates are chordates, but all chordates are not vertebrates. Very important question from exam point of view. Besides the basic chordate characters, vertebrates have a ventral muscular heart with 2, 3 or 4 chambers. Kidneys are present for excretion and osmoregulation, and paired appendages which may be fins or limbs. So these were the characters of subphylum Vertibrata. May be asked in the exam. The characters may be asked, so please concentrate on the characters. When we compare chordates with non-chordates, we can see that chordates have notochord is present in chordates, whereas non-chordates notochord is absent. In chordates, central nervous system is dorsal, solid, hollow and single, whereas in non-chordates, the central nervous system is ventral, solid and double. Pharynx is perforated by gill slits in chordates. Gill slits are absent in chordates. Post-anal part is present, post-anal tail is absent in non-chordates. So these were the differences between the chordates and non-chordates. This is outline classification of subphylum Vertibrata. We can see that Vertibrata is divided into division Organatha, Gnathostomata. Gnathostomata is further classified into superclass Pisces and Tetrapoda. Pisces is again subdivided into two classes, Chondritis and Ostrich, whereas Tetrapoda is again classified into class Amphibia, Reptilia, Aves and mammals, whereas Organatha is further classified into class Cyclostomata. Now Organatha is nothing but, Organatha means absence of jaws. This division includes most primitive vertebrates where mouth is not supported by jaws, hence called jawless vertebrates. It includes cyclostomata, which is represented by lampreys and hagfishes, whereas gnathostomata is nothing but it is a presence of jaws. They have jaws. This division includes advanced vertebrates where mouth is supported by jaws. This group includes all fishes, amphibians, reptiles, aves and mammals. Coming to first class cyclostomata, all living members of class cyclostomata are ectoparasites on some fishes. They have an elongated body bearing 6 to 15 pairs of gill slits for respiration. Cyclostomes have a sucking and circular mouth without jaws. Their body is devoid of scales and paired fins. Cranium and vertebral column are cartilaginous. Production, they migrate to the fresh water. After spawning, within a few days they die. Their larvae after metamorphosis return to the ocean. So examples for petromyson or example for cyclostomata are petromyson magazine. Here it has been shown petromyson. Remember the characters. They are ectoparasites on some of the fishes. You can see they have circular mouth with the jaws, sucking type of mouth they have. Cranium and vertebral column are cartilaginous here. Coming to the next class, chondrites, very important again. They are marine animals with streamlined body and have cartilaginous endoskeleton. Mouth is ventrally located. Notochord is persistent throughout the life. Gill slits are separate and they are without operculum. So remember, operculum is absent in the chondrites. The skin is tough, containing minute placoid scales. Okay, and teeth are modified, which are backwardly directed. Their jaws are very powerful. These animals are predaceous. Due to the absence of air bladder, they have to swim constantly to avoid sinking. Heart is two-chambered, having one auricle and one ventricle. Some of them have electric organs and some possesses poison sting. They are cold-blooded animals. They lack the capacity to regulate they will lack the capacity to regulate the body temperature. That is called as poikilothermus. Sexes are separate here. In males, pelvic fins bear claspers. They have internal fertilization and many of them are viviparous. They give birth to the young ones. Examples for chondrites are scoliodon. The photograph has been shown of scoliodon. You can see the first one and the second one is pristis. So here you can see they are chondrites. Skin is covered by placoid scales. Okay, then they have air bladder is present. Heart is two-chambered. Fine, in these organisms they are mostly marine. Skin is covered by the placoid scales. They have about 5 to 7 pairs of gill slits and operculum is absent over here. Mouth is located ventrally. So these are characters of chondrites. Coming to ostriches, it includes both marine and freshwater fishes with bony endoskeleton. So these members have bony endoskeleton, whereas chondrites have cartilaginous endoskeleton. Their body is streamlined, mouth is mostly terminal, whereas in chondrites it is ventral in position. In chondrites the mouth is ventral, whereas in ostriches the mouth is terminal. They have 4 pairs of gills which are covered by an operculum. So here operculum is present on each side. Skin is covered with cycloid scales, whereas in chondrites it was been there the skin is covered by placoid scales. Air bladder is present which regulates buoyancy. Heart is two-chambered with one auricle and one ventricle. They are cold-blooded animals. Sexes are separate. Fertilization is usually external. They are mostly oviparous and development is direct. Examples you can give of Exochetus, the marine hippocampus is there. Freshwater, you can see labio, cutla. So these are all the examples of ostriches. So differences between chondrites and ostriches may be asked. You can write the first difference whereas in ostriches it is bony. Skin is covered by placoid scales in chondrites, whereas skin is covered by cycloid scales in ostriches. 5 to 7 pairs of gills are present in the chondrites which are without operculum, whereas in ostriches there are 4 pairs of gill slits present which are covered by the operculum. Air bladder is absent in chondrites, air bladder is present in ostriches. Caudal fin is heterocercal in chondrites, whereas caudal fin is homocercal in ostriches. So these are some of the differences between the chondrites and ostriches may be asked. So again give the example and write the differences. So again these are the examples for ostriches. Hippocampus cutla has been shown. So remember, diagrams will not be asked in the exam. You have to remember the general characters and the examples. Next, coming to the class Amphibia. Amphi is dual, bios is a life. So these are animals, as the name indicates, amphibians can live in aquatic as well as terrestrial habitats. Most of them have 2 pairs of limbs. Body is divisible into head and trunk. Tail may be present in some. The amphibian skin is moist, okay, without scales. The eyes have eyelids. A tympanum represents the ear. Alimentary canal, urinary and reproductive tracts open into a common chamber called cloaca, which opens to the exterior. Respiration is by gills, lungs and through skin. The heart is 3-chambered here, having 2 auricles and 1 ventricle. They are cold-blooded animals. Sexes are separate. Fertilization is external. They are oviparous and development is indirect. So that is about the class Amphibia. Examples is buffo, that is toad, frog, salamanders. Rana tigrina has been shown for the class Amphibia. So remember the characters. They are aquatic as well as terrestrial. They require water for fertilization They are cold-blooded animals. Fine. The skin is smooth, moist. Alimentary canal opens into cloaca. Respiratory organs in the larval stage are gills. They may be internal or external. In case of adults, they have skin. Respiratory organs are skin, buccal cavity and the lungs. 3-chambered heart they have with 2 auricles and 1 ventricle. And they are oviparous. Auditory organ is tympanum over here. So those were the characters of Amphibia. Coming to class Reptilia. The class name refers to their creeping and crawling mode of locomotion. They are mostly terrestrial animals and their body is covered by dry and cornified skin, epidermal scales or scutes. They do not have external ear openings. Tympanum represents ear. Limbs when present are 2 pairs. Heart is usually 3-chambered but 4-chambered in crocodiles. Reptiles are poikilothms. Snakes and lizards shed their scales as skin cast. Sexes are separate. Fertilization is internal. They are oviparous and development is direct. So these were the characters of class Reptilia. Examples you can give: turtle, tortoise, chameleon, calotis. All these are the examples for class Reptilia. So reptilian characters we have studied. Okay, so these are adopted for creeping and crawling mode of locomotion. They are cold-blooded. They have 2 pairs of external ear openings. Heart is 3-chambered but except in crocodile it is 4-chambered. So these were the characters of Reptilia. Coming to the next, Aves. The characteristic feature of aves are the presence of feathers and most of them can fly except flightless birds, that is example ostrich. They possess beak. The forelimbs are modified into wings. The hind limbs generally have scales and are modified for walking, swimming and clasping the tree branches. Skin is dry without glands except the oil gland at the base of the tail. Endoskeleton is fully ossified and the long bones are hollow with air cavities. Very important character of aves. They have pneumatic bones. The digestive tract of birds has additional chambers, the crop and gizzard. Heart is completely 4-chambered. They are warm-blooded. animals, that is homeothermous, means they are able to maintain a constant body temperature. Respiration is by lungs. Air sacs connected to lungs supplement respiration. Sexes are separate. Fertilization is internal. They are oviparous and development is direct. Very important characters are again of the aves. Many times been asked in the exam. So please be perfect with the characters. Examples, you can give any crow, pigeon, okay, parrot. These are all the examples for class aves. So remember, they are warm-blooded animals. Forelimbs are modified into wings for the purpose of flight. The body is short and spindle-shaped to offer minimum resistance. They have pneumatic bones having air cavities. The heart is four-chambered and they are oviparous. Eggs are large, contain large amount of yolk and provided with the shell. So examples you can quote as flightless birds like ostrich, penguin, emu, kiwi, flying birds like pigeon, parrot, peacock, crow, sparrow, etc. So many examples you can are there which you can quote some of them. Next, coming to the class Mammalia. They are found in variety of habitats like polar ice caps, deserts, mountains, forest, grasslands and dark caves. Some of them have adapted to fly or to live in water. The most unique mammalian characteristic is the presence of milk producing glands, that is mammary glands are present, by which the young ones are nourished. Very important character of Mammalia. They have two pairs of limbs adapted for walking, running, climbing, burrowing, swimming or flying. The skin of mammals is unique in possessing hair. External ears or pinnae are present. Different types of teeth are present in the jaw, because of which they are called as nothing but thecodont, diphodont and heterodont. Okay, thecodont because the teeth in mammals are nothing but they are present in the jaw sockets, that is, so they are called as thecodont. Okay, in the jaws they are present. Whereas diphodont, here two types of teeth they possess, milk teeth and the permanent teeth, so they are called as diphodont. And heterodont because they have different types of teeth like incisors, canines, premolars and molars, so they are called as heterodont. Heart here is four-chambered. They are homeothermous. Respiration is by lungs. Sexes are separate and fertilization is internal. They are viviparous with a few exceptions and you can write as platypus. Example, flying mammal is bat. Aquatic mammals are whale, dolphin, hippopotamus. Okay, terrestrial mammals are cat, elephant, horse, okay, tiger and all. Pouched mammals are kangaroo. Placental mammals include horse, zebra, monkey, elephant, man, etc. So these are the examples of class Mammalia. So remember, they are homeothermic, they are terrestrial tetrapods, and some are secondarily aquatic like whales. The skin is glandular, having sweat and sebaceous glands. Skin is covered by hairs. They possess external earlobe or pinna, and very important character is the presence of the mammary glands in them. Fertilization and development is internal. Fetus develops a placenta which provides nourishment. So these were the characters for class Mammalia. With this we have completed our chapter Animal Kingdom. In the next class we will begin with the next chapter. Thank you.